Let's move on to the next iteration. In this iteration, I committed to onboard the iOS application, and we will do this, even though I'm not expecting this session to be very exciting, at least for me. And the reason is simple. There is no technical problem to solve. This session would be about one, and the only one problem is to make Apple happy and satisfy their requirements. Being a very chaotic person, there is a very high risk that I will make a tiny stupid typo mistake and I will break everything. That's why I will be cheating a little bit, and by cheating I mean that I already created the application in App Store Connect, and actually I already uploaded a few builds to test flights to go through the review process at different builds. They have nothing to do with our application, but now it's ready to be used for automation by GitHub Actions. And also very important, I installed all of the secrets which I required for the automation here. Again, just not to make a mistake while I'm doing this on camera, and also these secrets, I just don't want to share them with you. Let's do the thing. And when I said then there is no technical problem to solve, that just means that from Kotlin Multiplatform point of view, the iOS application is already here. We can see it was there since the moment we generated the application out of the template. And if I just hit the run button, it should compile and open the application. Yeah, and it's here. I can even run it on, let's stop it and close it. I can even run it on my iPhone. I can't. I can't because indeed iOS application requires the development team. We would need to install it. The template generated the Xcode and technically we can fill in the ID here, and as far as I understand, the team ID is not sensitive information, so we can share it, but from pedantic point of view, probably it's not the good idea, and there is a way how to work around this. I will use some helper configuration files for this session as usual. So let me move it right and let me make it a little bit bigger and fix this bundle identifier. The template generated this one and added some suffix in the form of team ID just to ensure that the identifier would be unique for all of the developers who are using the Kotlin Multiplatform template. So if we add this thingy to the end of the file, it would mean that there might be a local xconfig files that has some of these properties, and they will override these values because it goes last. So let's create this one. No, we don't want to add it. Actually, it's other way around. We want to add it to git ignore. Yes, let me create a branch. iOS, that's it. So we add it to git ignore. And now we can add our team ID. That's it. So now I can run the application. I will unblock my phone. And you see the error is gone. And it starts the application. I have the application. This is it. So this problem is solved. Another one, oh, indeed, from the previous session, I had some leftovers. I didn't fill in correctly the links in our footer session for social links. So let's fix it. So for X, I would use this one. For LinkedIn, I would use this one. Since now these links would be in production, in iOS application. If someone wants to become a tester, send me a message via one of these channels and I will add you. Or just if you want to talk about something, or if you agree or disagree with something, I'm happy to have a nice conversation about the development processes and the Kotlin multi-platform specifically. This one is fixed. Also, maybe let's replace the default icon with something. I have this one. It's not fancy, but it's something. That was the default one, and we will overwrite it. Yeah. If we upload the build to the test flight without the change, some change, then I will have to manually click some compliance agreement every time we upload the new build. So there is a property in the info plist that can help to automate this. Yeah, I think these are the changes from the application point of view. Add footer, we are not adding footer anymore. I would say update the iOS icon, and that's it. So now let's introduce the automation, and it would be quite similar to how we do for web. So there will be like continuous development on the merge on the main branch, then there will be some job as a part of a release. I think it will not happen today to make the session shorter. Today we're just going to upload to the test flight. Then there will be a template that can upload to different environments. And then the actual upload, we're gonna use the fastlane. I think this is the standard. It creates just a nice abstract layer because Apple and Google changes their API so fast. So there is actually no need to monitor what's new. Just use fastlane and that's it. Let's start with our pipeline. Yes. So it will be tiny on each push to the main branch. When the content of the application will be changed, either it's a shared Kotlin Multiplatform module, either it's something in iOS application. Right now we updated the icon. It should be triggered, and then we can trigger it at any moment of time. It will extract the version that we already know how to extract, and then it will somehow publish the application. I don't know how, but somehow. And we will say, please upload it to test flight. Now, let's implement the template. Let me copy paste it first. You see it's super long and super complex, so you are cheating, Misha. But I will just say it's not me, it's Apple. And there is an official documentation created by GitHub on how to install the certificates on macOS runners. And what I did is a little bit more than this code snippet. So you create a temporary keychain, then you install all the certificate, provisional profiles, passwords, and the access, and then you build the application. This is exactly what this pipeline does. Let's maybe look a little bit. So it accepts where to deploy, with what version, what kind of secrets are required. Then we need Xcode version 26 nil as of now, because Kotlin Multiplatform Compatibility Map, yeah, somewhere over here. That's it. You could see we use Kotlin 2.3 nil and we need to use 26.0. I think as of today there is 26.2, but it's still not supported, even though I have it installed on my machine and it seems to be working fine. But let's just be on a safe side and use it 26.0 as recommended. Then setup Java, Gradle, Ruby, because Fastlane is the Ruby application. Then we follow the guide to install, and then we upload to the test flight and we say please go this lane, whether it's release or test flight, with this version. That's it. The application from workflow point of view, it's done. Now we need to implement the Fastlane. The Fastlane is a Ruby application. So the first one, we need to create the Gemfile and define that it's going to need the Fastlane gem dependency. Okay, now let's create a folder, Fastlane, no mistakes, no mistakes. And let's create the Appfile. There is a command line tool offered by Bundler of Fastlane where you can initialize everything in interactive mode. I just find the manual way just faster because it's about one line. I just want to make sure that the Fastlane would communicate with Apple service about this application and only this application. That's just it. Now the actual Fastfile. There is a bit of information. Let's briefly go over it. So we will supply the version, and the version might be normal, like major, minor, patch, but also it might be for test environment, so it would be contained the timestamp, commit SHA, and Apple is quite strict with respect of requirement to how the version could look like, and they allow only major, minor, patch. So that's why we introduce the sanitization of it. What's next? Yeah, then the build number. Disregarding how many builds were already uploaded on the App Store, the very next one should have the higher number. And the same comes to the Play Market for the Android application. So what do? We just extract the latest build number that was uploaded and increment it to the by one. Now the interesting moment, I specifically keep this commented because sometimes I saw that even experienced iOS engineers suffered because of this issue. So when you move from having all of the values, project properties under the source control in your project settings to the xconfigs, first of all, it's a great change, but still it's a tricky one. There is a special property which is called generate info please file, which will take these configuration and generate some list values on the fly, and among those some values would be the build number and version number. And sometimes I see that there is an error that the application is still being built with the default 100 or one build number, and of course the test flight doesn't accept that upload and everything fails, and you do not know why, because from here everything is correct but the result is not correct. And the reason is this property. So there are multiple solutions how to do this. If first you can just set it to false, and then this API would magically work. But I don't like it. I would like to have my separate Xcode files to manage these things, so they are not under the source control. And if I want to keep this property, then I can manually, or like with some bash script, change these numbers to whatever I need, and it's doable. Not a good decision, don't recommend you. But I think the idiomatic way would be to override these values from the command line point of view that has a higher priority. It sounds very, very similar to what I was explaining in the multiple sessions ago with respect of Gradle properties, that these are quite powerful mechanism to provide additional information about your application without the code change, and there are a ladder of hierarchy from where the Gradle takes the value, and the same comes to this configuration. So now we are just overriding the configuration in xconfig file, in local xconfig file from the command line. And that's what's happening. What's interesting here? I think nothing. And then we have just two lanes, the first one to test flight, another one to release. Technically it will still upload to the test flight because Apple doesn't separate them, but here we can use some different API with multiple properties. This is something that we're going to explore at the later stages when we evolve our release pipeline. So far, this is enough. So, create automation for iOS. Pull request on board iOS. I really hope, because there is no other word how to describe my condition right now, it's hope-driven development, that I didn't make any typo mistake and everything will work. So we create a pull request. The CI, I'm not sure, still triggers. I don't even know why. Maybe because we didn't set any filters. Let's double check. And this is something for us to improve. Yeah, on pull request, probably we could be smarter and trigger the CI only when the meaningful files like Kotlin files have been changed, and that's just it. So everything from static code analysis passed. Now we are running tests. Also everything was fast thanks to Gradle cache, and we can merge and then push iOS to test flight was immediately triggered because we changed the icon in the iOS app folder. So that filter worked for us, and now it triggers. This pipeline, let's see, compute version, everything was correct. This pipeline would take some time, and it's not because of we did something wrong. I think it's just a nature of the iOS development. So actually, when you prepare some builds for the application that will be running on different architecture on a different hardware, either it's iOS or Android, it will take some time. So probably we will not wait until it's done. I want just to ensure that I set up all the secrets correctly, and I think the keychain thingy was installed nicely. Now flight, and we see that yeah, I just started from 50 whatever, that the latest build was 52, and now it will try to build the application and upload with the version 53. This one will be shown on the app screen, but in the test flight it will have version 100 because we performed the sanitization. I will not wait until it's done. I think that I eventually create some 30 seconds video outro to this session that it actually got built, and we have this built in the test flight, and everything looks exactly the same as in web. Maybe makes sense to go over the secrets. So what do we have? We have distribution certificate. This is certificates that identifies you as a trusted Apple developers, and it's required that you signed your application with it to ensure that the application was not tampered since the moment it was built. There are multiple attacks that can be done by hackers, and one of them is resigning, when they take the build, extract it, add some malicious code, or change some secrets like API token to something they can control, and they bundle it back. And in this case, this signing helps to find out whether it was actually original, the application made by me and signed by me, or it was re-signed and rebundled by someone else. Also, of course, it's guarded by the password. There is a provisional profile that links all the application that we can do with these profiles, the distribution certificates that I described earlier, and the testing devices. Not very convenient, because every time you, for example, add a new device, then you have to regenerate this profile, if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, your pipeline would just fail, so you will have to overwrite all of those secrets. What else? Apple development team. We used it to create our application to run on the device, even though I believe the Apple development team information should be inside the distribution certificate, so there is no single source of truth, and it's not really convenient. So 7 secrets, we need 7 secrets, while probably for Android we need just 3 secrets: the key, the password to the key, and the API key to access the automation. Oh, and here the what should be, yeah, Apple App Store Connect API key. This is the key to access the automation to bypass the two-factor authentication. Briefly, that's it. Let's look at our code to finish our session, and then probably I will attach a small video as a proof that this one is green. It looks beautiful. and 15 minutes later, we got all our pipelines green. The build was uploaded to TestFlight, and actually I'm recording this outro for the second time because in the first time I didn't turn on the sound. We have our application in TestFlight. I click the open. We have our application, looks nice, and all the buttons are working. This is my X account. Follow, write messages, ask some questions, or share what you think about what I'm doing. Thank you.